Good morning. My name is Destry, and this is my first devlog for my first game as an independent developer. Now, since this is the first time meeting a lot of you, I just want to quick introduce myself and some of the things I'm trying to accomplish. But if you want to skip all of that, timestamps are in the scrub bar down below. For the rest of you, hello. As I said, my name is Destry, and this is my first independent indie devlog. Frankly, this is my first time creating an online presence really of any kind. The social media makes me nervous and really anxious, and I don't like doing it. So it feels incredibly counterintuitive to be like, hey everybody, watch all my successes and failures online. That's just not how I prefer to do anything, actually. So of course that beggars the question, then why do the exact thing that I don't like doing? There's a lot of reasons. I don't think it's super helpful to talk about all of them, but there's some specific things that are important to talk about just for the sake of context, posterity. So first, I want to make a portfolio that shows off everything I can do, especially the things I feel I'm best at. Now, in the past, I've focused on art in my portfolios, and I've gotten jobs doing that before. But it's not the aspect of development that really excites me. I think the best way to create the sort of quote-unquote living portfolio that I want is to charge forward, no restraints, and just make an entire game. I've got the skills to do it, so, why not? Second, life is kind of one big financial struggle, for me at least. I don't seem to get how it works. But everywhere that I go on social media, I find independent devs supporting themselves online, making legitimate living wages by making their dream games and then sharing that. And that seems bonkers. Like, for where I'm at in life right now, that just does not sound possible. But, it is happening, so it must be possible, and I really would like to try that. So thirdly, lastly, somewhat arrogantly, I'm just bored of games that exist. Like, I've landed the headshots, I've bought the season passes, I've followed the waypoint, and I'm just bored of doing that over and over and over again. There's so many kinds of adventures I want to go on and things I want to try and experience, and they just don't exist. So if no one else is going to make those games, then I'll make them. Easy. Kind of. Not at all, actually. It's going to be really difficult, but I can do it. So that's it. That's me. That's what I'm hoping to achieve. Now, get excited, because everything after this is just each utterly laborious step in that exorbitantly long process. Let's check it out. Right, so the first rule of game development is that you want to be able to interact with your game as soon as humanly possible. And to that end, I made this dapper little lad so that I could run around the game world. Super easy to do, took all of 5 minutes. As an avatar of sorts, it can move and run and jump. And I also set it up to shoot these little sticks, I guess, so that I could test collisions. All very temporary, but I don't know, he's a little guy, he's cute. The next step was to get him out of a blank world of nothingness and into a slightly less blank world of slightly more thingness. I made some quick textures for grass, soil, and stone. Yes, that's supposed to be stone. And I combined them all into the basis for an auto material. Auto materials are super cool. They detect the slope of the surface that they're on and then fade between materials based on that slope. So here is an example. You can see that everything on top is grass, and then as that starts to curves downward, it turns to soil, and then at some point it becomes stone. It's pretty rough, but it works, and that's all it really got to do for now. Some other bits and bobs, I made some trees, the textures for leaves and grass. Both the leaves and the grass have a wind effect. The grass was modeled, of course. Everything was thrown onto this dank island, and the island was sealed off with some pre-made water. The basics, the stuff you gotta have. All of it cheap, easy, and temporary so that I could first focus on the first actual feature of the game, which is the sun. So let's talk mood for a minute. A lot of people don't give it much thought, but lighting is one of the most critical elements for creating mood and feel. This is true in movies, in games, in art, and in real life for that matter. Now, I really wanted to have a dynamic day-night cycle, but go from bright to dark just wasn't good enough. I needed to have control of the light's position, angle, duration, but most importantly, I wanted to have control over its color grade. Which, and I don't want to run too far off topic, but what is color grading, and then why is that important for mood? So here's just a thing. Nighttime isn't blue. If we're being extra scientific, moonlight is actually red, but we see it as bluish, but that's all beside the point. The point is that when early cinematographers were first trying to film things at night, they were like, wow, this blows. It's too dark, we can't see anything, nothing is working. Wouldn't it be nice if there was some way we could film during the day and just trick people into thinking it was night? So they leaned really hard into that blue perception, way harder than our eyes actually see. They put a thin blue film in front of the camera, shot during the day, and bam, you have the best lit night scene you could ask for. The thing is that this trope is so strong, we've come to expect night to be blue. We can tell what a night mood feels like because it's blue. And not just pure blue either. Warm blues, cool blues. We determine so much from a scene based on its color. And I bring all of this up so that I can talk about the biggest aesthetic inspiration I have for this game, which is an anime called Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. The art team behind this show was completely insane, like just unhinged. Nearly every frame of this entire series has every hue in it somewhere. Like this is just 4 shots of the same tree, just at different times of the day. And this is beautiful. It feels surreal, incredible, fantastical, and I want it. So going back to my game, my sun and moon needed to do more than just exist. It needed to do more than go from bright to dark. It needed to allow me to recreate these kind of feelings through color, the feeling of the otherworldly. And that's exactly what it can do. As a system, I can set up how many hours I want to have in each day and how long I want each hour to last. I can change the axial rotation angle of each heavenly body as it traces its way across the sky. I can change the time, down to the minute, mind you, of the sunrise and sunset, and I can alter the luminosity of the sun and moon, or even gradate their luminosity over time, but most importantly, I can change the color of the sun and moon as I see fit. If I want to, or more specifically because I want to, the sun can rise in calming jades, it can set in phosphorescent ambers, and the clock can strike midnight in a deep blue, or red, or vomit green. Really, I can do whatever. So it's a lot. It's a lot that we've done so far, but there's still a lot to do. So I'm going to stop here for now. I'm going to go do some more, and I'll be back a little later. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry, one more thing before I go. If you want to play what I've made so far, you can do so for free by clicking on the Google Drive link and downloading whatever I have posted up there at the moment. You can get updates earlier than everyone else, as well as other goodies by clicking on the Patreon link. But most of all, easiest of all, you can continue this adventure with me by clicking subscribe. Okay, I'm going back to work for real this time. Bye!